serves 0. Serves 0.
Back at the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball as we are live at the Los Caballeros Sports Village for this amazing men's semifinal match between Cordova. Here is the first serve, and Juan Santos, who gets that elite right-hand corner kill. Santos brought to you by his sponsors and fans, Edel Handball, and those from the Orange County area of Orange. That's the name of the city, Dave.
Cordova just finished a 2-hour and 35-minute tiebreaker win against New York's Tyree Bastidas. That was on the back courts, Dave. He was actually brought over here in a cart, very similar to what you see in the airport, Dave, the kind that beeps when you're trying to get to your gate. He was coming down beeping with hundreds of fans who are also making the pilgrimage from the back courts to here. It's about a quarter-of-a-mile walk around the complex.
This is a marquee match, and you can see with all those fans lined up right here, those from L.A. County supporting Cordova, and those from Orange County supporting Juan Santos.
Juan actually from Orange, and I drove through Orange the other day, Dave. It's a great spot. It's actually really nice there.
4 serves 2.
I know that eventually we'll hear court sounds through our headsets. Right now we can't.
Chava's off to a great start here, Dave. I'd say about 4-1
5 serving 2
would be my guess right now.
I'm thinking about 3-1. And a beautiful shot right there from Cordova, making it 4-1, they're saying.
Well, Chava ended his match just 10 minutes ago on fire. Lost the first game to Tyree Bastidas, 21-12, came back and won the next two games, 21-8, 11-2.
I saw good. What'd you see?
And Dave, I never saw anybody go from 5 to 11 as fast as he did. It was literally 45 seconds to score 6 points.
Two serve 6.
Juan saying he has 2, it looked like.
Juan was actually saying, you're stopping play because of a nickel on the court. We play with rocks, leaves, body parts.
Actually, I saw some like 8-legged creatures on the court at La Mirada when we had that camera right in the left corner.
3.
I know you're up on your bugs, Dave, but what was
those
that?
Those 8-legged creatures all had agents.
Side out. 3 serve 6. Side out.
Dave, you were extremely confident in your pre-match
6
meeting here.
Well, that meeting was called short, thank goodness for me. I know eventually we'll be able to hear the court sounds as we are on ESPN, the Watch ESPN app, unable to hear ourselves after an extended 30-minute delay. Those kinks just simply not worked out.
I love this front court camera angle, and since Jeff Helam doesn't watch three-wall, it works out perfectly for us, David. We can just stay here on this front court angle. A lot of airs here early from
7
Juan
serving
Santos.
3.
Juan Santos, Dave, in the Edel green shirt, is the current #1 player on the WPH Outdoor Players Cup Series, but he's seeded #2 here because, Dave, in handball, for some reason, if you won this event the year before, you're the #1 seed the next year. So I guess, Dave, the Seahawks shouldn't even play their regular season this year. They should just go straight to the Super Bowl, right?
9 serving 3.
How handball does it for some reason. Don't quite understand it. In fact, when we've ever broken free from that and said, no, we just go off of who's ranked #1, everybody seems to have a fit with that.
10 serves 3.
So it's become such a tradition that it's widely accepted.
Side out.
Not sure why, but it is.
3 serves
I've never
10.
entered a tournament in handball because I won the previous year thinking I get the #1 seed.
Side out.
Dave, I think Chava going straight from his previous match onto the court is actually a benefit. Juan Santos sat around for about 45 minutes and got cold, and it's now chilly out here, Dave. I mean, it's particularly for us Tucsonans, this is freezing. I mean, it's probably 60 degrees out here right now with the breeze.
I was thinking about getting the parka on.
You could get the parka that you used last year, and we could actually wear it together since you've lost, what, about 130 pounds since then?
Pretty close.
12 serves.
This match gave just a blowout now, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't write off Santos
Side
ever,
out.
and there he goes with that elite left corner kill. Gets back into the server's box. Still no audio in the broadcast booth.
12.
Not hearing the scores from the referee or the fans or ourselves, or maybe we're not even talking right now.
Dave, Santos has just no offense thus far here today. And it starts with the return of serve from Chava. He's neutralized the incredible Juan Santos serve. Juan Santos, Dave, also played in the one-wall big ball singles where he defeated Samson Hernandez. They played in the first round. That was apparently one of the great matches of this tournament. Then he took a 17-10 lead on Timbo Gonzalez, the #1 player in one-wall big ball handball, before losing that first game, but attracted a lot of fans and made a lot of fans in that show.
Point. Four serving, 3.
Boy, this outdoor game is really exciting, though.
Point.
You can really see the court really well
Yeah,
right now. It's this twilight kind of comes
5
upon us
serving,
here
13.
in Southern California. What a beautiful court this is.
Point.
It almost seems like Santos hits it just hard enough for you to be able to get your hand on it, but not really be able to do anything with it. Almost like he's toying with you
13.
and just giving you a workout.
Getting him to call a timeout is actually
Point.
a lifetime achievement. Now you see him score
First
a 7th point.
timeout,
You might see a
Cordova.
timeout from
1 minute.
Cordova, as it's the smart thing to do, and he calls it. Now, of course, we can't hear the court sounds. We can't hear the referee. We don't really know what's going on, but it is
7,
certainly
13.
very colorful there in the front row. You see an image there of Raul Calvillo, who's sitting in front of one of his fellow young compadres.
7, 13.
Chava Cordova. There's a time where he said there's this young Juan Santos, there's Raul Calvillo, and then there's Chava Cordova, and they're the 3 that will keep this game going alive forever, literally.
What's that? 7, 13. Chava's up. Okay, here we go. Got it, Mark? Got it. Here we go. Resume play. Score is 7, serving 13.
Dave, I had a chance to watch Chava Cordova's win over Tyree in the backcourts, and instantly I realized this is a young person's game. I mean, you have to swing as hard as you can on every shot. There's so much running, starting and stopping. I just don't see someone in their 30s being able to compete against in this type of game. It's just too hard on your body. And that's why all the top players, Dave, are either in their late teens or early 20s.
But how can these 20-year-olds, I mean, that's what we're talking about here. How can they be so perfect in their shot stuff? Dave, I mean,
I agree with you.
This is unreal. Juan Santos hits a ball down the right wall, and it stays in every single time. It's impossible to do that.
Well, I think, Dave, these guys are literally playing 25 to 30 hours a week. And if you put in that kind of time as a young person, you know, young people, Dave, are like sponges.
Side out.
You know, it's like when you teach them a new language, the best time to teach is when they're 2 or 3 years old. So if you're learning a sport as a 12-year-old or 13-year-old and putting in 25 to 30 hours a week, you're going to get to that level.
Point. 14 serves 9.
Score here is 14-9. You heard the score.
Side out. 9 serves 14.
Has won almost everything in 3-ball, big ball, but he's never won this
point.
stop. Never won the U.S. Open.
10 serves 14.
Pretty big crowd here, Dave. One of the things that's great about big ball is the rivalry between Los Angeles County and Orange County here in Southern California. And that's what you're seeing, a split in this audience.
11 serves 14.
Chava is from LA County and Juan is from Orange.
Amazing serve. But, you know, Dave, the crowd's actually not allowed to cheer here. I was in the gallery, and they were instructed explicitly, no cheering.
12
so that's
serves
why
14.
it's so quiet. This is a very
but why?
Energetic crowd, Dave, and very enthusiastic. They love handball.
Point.
I mean, but for some reason, the officials here do not allow cheering. They're not allowed to clap. They're not allowed to talk.
But is that because there's cabanas here with people living?
Well, this was on the backcourts, Dave, where there's nothing but a highway about 50 feet in the distance, and there was still no cheering allowed. So,
makes sense.
Yeah. Well, no, I thought it did too.
I mean, you don't
14
want to.
serves 14.
When those motorists are on Carmen, they might miss their exit.
Yeah.
If they can't hear it.
Second timeout, Cordova. Score is 15-14.
You know, Dave, when you drive up the street to the Staples Center, when Kobe's shooting foul shots, no one's allowed to talk. You know, when Kevin Durant's shooting a three-pointer with 3 seconds left, trying to tie the game against the Lakers, Laker fans are not allowed to say anything. So that they bring that same philosophy here, and it's just, it's one of those things that make it great.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Juan Santos at 15. Chava Cordova, 14.
20 seconds.
Men's quarterfinals. Earlier, this is now the semis, and the winner will go up against Samson Hernandez. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Here we go.
Samson has never lost a match at the U.S. Open. The first year, 2011, they only had doubles. He won that. 2012 and 2013, he entered the singles, won that both times.
15 serves 14.
There's another point, 16-14.
Point.
10 straight points for Juan
16
Santos.
serves 14.
It's an easy 20.
Side out. 14 serves 16. Side out. 16 serves 14.
It's hard to describe, Dave, just how skilled Juan Santos
Point.
is. Every shot he hits, it just turns out perfectly. Even when it looks like it won't be, it just somehow rides the wall or
serving 14.
is just out of your reach.
Well, he took a total of 4 steps in the previous rally, and Chava Cordova took 28 steps. I mean, that's what he does.
14.
I mean, 7 times less energy is being expended every single time he hits a ball.
Point.
This is just absolutely amazing.
You see how perfect that shot is?
This game is only 9 minutes old, and it's almost over.
19 serving 14.
Yeah, but he was losing 13 to, what, 5?
14 to 6.
14-6.
Point.
Now it's 20 to 14.
I mean, this is a clinic, Dave. Absolutely unbelievable.
Possible game point, serving 14.
That's from a guy that doesn't drink.
First game.
And there it goes. Juan Santos scores 15 straight points to win game number 1. We're going to take a break. We'll be back for game number 2 here in the semifinals of the men's Big Ball Pro Singles from the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. And the big event here on Watch ESPN. Stick around. More action coming up next for Dave Fink, Dave Vincent here at WatchESPN.com.
That's the same confidence.
An hour and 45 minutes. That was 10 minutes for one game. Wow. Wow.
Get Get ready for your next barbecue with the Southland's most delicious smoked sausages. I'm Rachel Serrato from Far West Meats. My family has provided quality, delicious meats locally for over 90 years. At Far West Meats, we take pride in serving a mouth-watering variety of smoked sausages, including beef, chicken, and Louisiana hot or mild, and our new products like Red Hots and chicken chorizo. Please find Far West Meats products at your local supermarkets, including Albertsons, Smart & Final, Stater Brothers, Superior, Gardinas, Walmart, Boot for Less, and Winco.
No, you're talking about all outdoor, big ball, save your life, and everything.
I didn't say it saved my life. I said that court at my dad's house saved my life this summer. That's what I said. I didn't say big ball saved my life. Are you drunk?
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
I would, though. Do you have some? That's my wife.
Really?
What is he doing? Why is he doing it?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point. There's smoke.
I mean, that's just a hinder or you replay or whatever.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.
Get a remarkable clean with non-toxic and biodegradable Simple Green All-Purpose Cleaner. Use straight from the bottle on heavy grime or dilute the concentrated formula to make up to 44 bottles of daily cleaner. Safe for all washable surfaces, Simple Green can be used indoors and out. From kitchens and bathrooms to living and play areas, countertops and floors to furniture and clothing. Keep your home and our world clean with Simple Green.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's 1 every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Back to the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Watch ESPN app. This is the Mark Zamora show as we watch Juan Santos and Chava Cordova go after it here.
He knows a lot
In the bottom bracket of the semifinal match, it was Santos.
Okay, here we go. Second game.
13 in that first game came back to win 21-14.
That's right. He's got the serve. You served the first game, remember? You picked two? Yeah, exactly. Okay, here we go. Second game. 0 serve 0. Point. 1 serve 0. Side out. 0 serves 1. Side out. 1 serves 0. Point. 2 serving 0.
We're at 2-0. Cordova jumped out to this big lead in game number 1.
Side out.
But it didn't really matter. When Santos decided that he wanted to pour it on, he did. And he won that first game in less than 10 minutes after he found that huge deficit. Giant crowds here as well, both supporting the LA Cordova and the orange Santos. Counties of Los Angeles and Southern California.
Side out.
Santos likes to tease his opponents early in games,
2,
Dave.
serving 1.
Miss a couple of shots, make you feel like, you know, you're in the game, and then all of a sudden, you know, Dave, generally you think of finesse players as being ralliers, having a lot of long rallies, but Santos is a finesse player that doesn't rally. He actually plays 2 or 3 shot rallies.
Point.
And
2 serves 2.
Shot rallies.
I mean, generally that's about an average rally length for him. It's a serve ace or serve on a first strike kill. I watched Chava Cordova, Dave, and Tyree on the backcourts.
Serving 2.
There had to have been at least, Dave, 15 shots, 15 rallies of 15 shots or more each game. I mean, it was crazy. It was unbelievable.
2 serves 2. Side out.
You know, a lot of people say, I love to play handball. It's such a great workout. Is it, though, when you play against Santos?
2 serves 2.
No. How much of workout are you going to get? Well, you know, on the other hand, Santos only moves 3 or 4
Take it
feet
over.
Compared to the Chava Cordova's 20 or 30. That is pretty good workout. But if he finishes
2 serving 2.
the way he starts with those quick serves and then immediately you can't do anything, I don't know. What's the workout? Putting your clothes on? Tying your shoes? I mean, you're burning calories. Look at this crowd here, completely silent.
Side out.
Well, they have an option. If they talk, they can leave. So.
2 serving 3.
Wow.
Point.
It's as though he has eyes in the back of his head.
3 serves 3. Short.
Doesn't complain either.
No.
3 serves 3. Side out. Three serves 3.
Dave, I want to thank our amazing broadcast crew who's been working since at least 5 a.m. today, and they're giving us just incredible, crystal clear picture and amazing court angles. Chris Garrett, Linda Manning, Dana, Bruno Mars.
Out.
I mean, just outstanding work from them, Dave.
3 serves 4.
I agree. It looks great. Sun is down. Look at this play right here. Unbelievable get right there from Chava Cordova, unable to flip it to the front wall, and it's a side out with Santos serving.
4 serves 3. Point.
Make that 5-3 now, Santos.
5 serves 3. Side out.
Thought there was a little congestion there. Thought there would be some contact. No call from anybody.
Serves 5. Point.
Look at that shot from Chava.
Four serves 5.
Wow. Somehow Juan Santos wins that rally. Chava was in position to win about 3 shots there.
5 serving 4.
What I've noticed about Santos is when he knows he's in a bad position, he doesn't overcommit and run 50 steps trying to keep a rally alive that he has no chance to win.
Side
I see
out.
a lot of these big ball players, Dave, they go for the highlight reel get, and they'll run 50 feet behind the court, throw it back over their head, only for their opponent to flat kill the next shot, and you've wasted so much energy. Santos doesn't do that.
Terrible shot from Chava, who has to be getting tired, Dave. He played that marathon match. These big ball matches will only last about 45 minutes at most. And the one that you watch with him and Tyree in the quarterfinals.
Side out.
What was that?
That was a splat kill. Amazing.
That would be an instant replay type shot if you saw it from a different angle. That front camera sometimes
Five,
is great,
serves,
but
four.
doesn't show you where the ball gets hit on the front wall. But you watched that match. How long did that match last between Chava and Tyree in the quarters?
It was just over 2 hours.
4 serving 5.
I've never seen that in big ball.
Yeah. Well, you had a small ball player playing, and that had a lot to do with it. There was a lot of timeouts.
You appeal it? What do you see? It's all good?
It makes you wonder why a guy like Tyree doesn't travel out here and play in the Cup Series.
Well, in a way, I can understand it because he's playing one-wall tournaments almost every weekend in New York, and he figures I'm getting this great competition.
Yeah, he's getting great competition, but it's less money for him, right?
Well, you know, you have to factor in travel expenses and flights and hotels.
5 serves 4.
And then there's also the probability of him making it, you know, into the later rounds. You know, it's not a guarantee by any means. He could run into Sampson in the first round and be out $1,500, for example.
Well, according to the Simple Green commercial, if it was simple, they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, there's no such thing as easy money. Unless you just fly around the country criticizing the referees.
That's easy.
It sounds like a great gig.
Point.
I wish I knew somebody that had something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't. Wish I did. Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
7 serving 4.
We're at 7-4. You heard the score from the ref? Oh, wow. Nice shot there from Cordova. Crowd likes it too. And a fist pump from Juan Santos to the L.A. County
4
Cordova.
serves 7. Point. Five serves 7.
This is the most people I've ever seen watching any sport event where only 5 of them are actually cheering.
Point.
Another great shot.
That's the most evers I've heard in one day. 22 different evers.
Wow.
Starting with the best handball player ever.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The best tournament ever. The best shot ever. The hardest hitter ever.
Collage. It's a collage of evers.
Ending with the most people ever.
The one that topped it off was when Sean Linning was sitting in the booth earlier with me. And I said, this is the guy that you never, ever want to play if you were ever going to play.
Yeah.
And he says, wow, you say a lot of evers. I thought he was in on the joke, and then it dawned on me, if a casual viewer
7 serves
says
6.
it might not be such a good thing. 7-6.
6 serving 7. 6 serving 7.
You know, you remember at the World Championships in Ireland, 185 players entered the C division. 183 of them were from Ireland, and yet they had to play the tournament over 4 days. What if, Dave, you have a Southern California version of the Simple Green U.S. Open, and the top 8 players only get to advance into the main draw? Then you don't have these matches being played on top of each other. You know, you don't have.
Well, they could have been not played on top of each other anyway, but go ahead.
But, I mean, you could actually limit it to 1 match a day. You know, you take whoever wants to enter from Southern California, they play off the weekend before. The top 8 are into the main draw, and then you can still have 8 spots remaining for guys from outside of Southern California.
Yeah. I think it's great, but you know, just in
Well, I don't see why it couldn't happen.
No, it should.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that it didn't. They could have played every day just like they did in indoor.
Yeah.
They just decided not to do that format here because they felt that they wouldn't get a lot of participation if they did. But that's just the way it goes, right?
Point.
Well, I like the idea of having a local qualifier.
No, I agree.
Eight,
I mean, not just because it's my idea. I just think, you know, if you look at any other sport, that's how it's done.
Nice shot right there from Santos.
Side out.
Gets the side out, 7-8. Winner goes into the finals to face Samson Hernandez, who's been just sitting around since 2 o'clock today in the Pacific. Just watching all of these matches, resting. I guess the #1 seed should get an advantage somehow.
Point. 8 serves 8. Point.
Is playing under the lights, Dave, any type of adjustment for these guys, or is this something that
do every single day, I think?
9 serves 8.
The adjustment is the crowd, and you know, how will their body respond to adrenaline, and there should be a timeout here, Dave.
Timeout, Cordova. First timeout.
Santos on a nice little run. Cordova calling a timeout. You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. This is the men's big ball semifinals outdoor. 3-wall. Juan Santos, is he #1? Is he #2? It's going to be a debate that we hear for many years. Samson Hernandez is the guy that everyone's been chasing. Even when Juan Santos was ranked #1, they still say Samson is #1.
Well, the bottom line, Dave, is whoever wins the final tomorrow between Santos and Samson will be the #1 player for the year, according to the power rankings. And both guys have 2 wins on the season. Tomorrow's match will break that tie. One will have 3. One will be the #1 player. He'll keep that ranking until
let's say that
next June.
Let's say that guy is Juan Santos.
Yeah.
They're still going to say Samson is #1.
Who's they?
Everyone you talk to says you have to see Samson play. I mean, if you got out into the field, they would say Samson's the best player.
20 seconds.
I think
you think it's more of a 50-50 toss-up? I don't.
Well, I think the fans from L.A. County are a little bit more vocal. Of course, not here they're not, but generally speaking, they are.
But if you talk to, let's say, Timothy Gonzalez, he's the best player. But that's not part of the argument.
10 serving 8.
10-8.
Point.
That ball goes over the roof. Not a very good timeout from
11 serves 8.
Cordova.
Well, these timeouts aren't strategic, Dave. He's tired. I'm surprised these guys are working up the kind of sweat they are because it's chilly out here and there's no humidity.
Side out. Eight serves 12.
Probably a very nice temperature in which to be playing.
Side out.
Dave, I've noticed that when the big ball is moving really slowly, that's the hardest time to kill it.
12 serves 8.
I see a lot of guys putting the ball into the ground when the ball is moving 5 miles per hour or less.
Ball skip.
Which is kind of the opposite of the way small ball is.
Yeah.
Ball skipped. We'll play it again. The ball skipped.
I think, Dave, that when it's moving that slowly, you almost need to
ball definitely
punch it.
skipped, you guys. Play it over. Let me see your hands.
I'm happy to see the referee actually look to see why it skipped. Most of the times refs say it's skipped because somebody's hands are wet, but then they don't look to see
Play it again.
if the hands are wet.
12
Can you really
serves
tell
8.
someone's hands are wet just by looking at them? I mean, come on.
The ball did skip, but it can only happen
Side
from one
out.
or two things, and one of them is your hands. I have seen a ball skip on a 3-wall court outdoor.
serving
I didn't think
12.
it could happen, but it can. That ball looked like it was hit off the wrist.
Take it over. Eight serves 12. Side out.
Score here is 12-8.
12 serving 8. Point.
Dave, earlier, the
Sweat.
Outthink Fink contest we had on Twitter, brought some pretty good results.
13 serves 8.
We talked about the answers for tennis and golf, but you never did reveal who was the 1994 champion of the Simple Green U.S. Open, which at that time was called the Naughty Alvarado Classic. Who won it? Or 1990, I should say. Who was that winner officially? You said Tati Severa. I thought it was John Bike. Could have very well been Naughty Senior.
It could have also been Dave Chapman.
Could have been. Who was it?
Serves 8.
I don't know.
So that was never officially answered.
Well, I could.
Point.
I've got Naughty Senior actually on my speed dial. Number 4.
John Pike would remember. He was here.
16 serves 8.
16 to 8.
Point.
Not much you can do when you're playing Juan Santos.
Well, this is just
17
clinical.
serves 8.
Dave, what is it that makes big ball games move along so much more quickly than a 4-ball game?
Well, they don't call timeouts. I mean, Chava called 2 in the first game, and I was surprised to see that.
But before you go off
8.
on that tangent, which I know that you want to, we've measured the stalls.
Side out.
And on average, they're 5 minutes per match per player. So that's an extra.
18.
That's an extra 10 minutes, Dave. That doesn't account for the extra hour and 20 minutes that the average match takes in 4-ball compared to 3-ball.
Well, they're quick. Look how quick they get back in, and the referee calls a score. Look at this.
18 serves 8.
That was 6 seconds.
Less than that.
I counted 6 on my stopwatch.
Okay, let's watch the next one. Now watch.
Point.
We have to retrieve the ball. They threw the ball on the wrong court.
19 serves 8.
11 seconds between the point ending and the next serve.
Point. Okay, possible game, possible match. Serves 8.
14 seconds that time.
50. Well, both of those balls went off the court, though.
Sure.
That's match.
21 to 8. I'm just going to go sit in the corner
nice play,
over here.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice playing. Nice playing.
Juan Santos now in the finals to face Samson Hernandez, and I'm surprised they're allowing the crowd to cheer here, but they are. We're going to have a break. We'll have more action coming up right around the corner. 7 o'clock, it's going to be the one-wall, big ball, third place championship in singles, unless they have something else great to put on next. Stick around. We'll have more action here on the Watch ESPN app. Stick with us.